facing Shubman Gill on the non-strikers end at the non-strikers
Just a
end.
small update. Just a small update on
That's
that.
a wide. Yeah.
The track seems to have some bounce on it.
Yeah, I mean the greenish tinge, as I was mentioning. I know I listened into what the commentators greenish tinge. So yeah, the bounce would be there. Just we have to see how much this bounce is sustained and this greenish tinge is deceptive or not. But starting off with a white position,
Umran gets his first over.
Oh yeah, and also the fact is, I mean, when it comes to these kind of pitches with a greenish tinge, the ball comes onto the bat even better. So the bowlers, even though they'll enjoy that, bounce, a slight error in the line or length, that's going to be punished very very badly.
Considering the kind of bats we have these days and the way these lads time the ball, the bowlers really need to be on spot with the line lengths.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you guys make of the pitch? 2 balls have been bowled so far. India 2 for 0. What do you make of the pitch?
Definitely, as Somi was mentioning, that bounce is there definitely. I mean, the carry to the keeper was great. The bounce is there. So the greenish tinge, during the pitch report, what we heard, it's working there. But for me, as I mentioned, if there is bounce, it will come onto the bat for the batters very nicely as well. So it's the margin for error for the bowlers are very very little on this track, and for the batters, they just have to bite their time out. I mean, honestly, first 2 overs they need to be cautious, and then it's up to them. Everything would really work perfectly for them.
It's not even as if they need to see out a couple of overs just because the ball is doing something, just to get their eye in. Just be there,
Absolutely,
just set themselves and just go. They can take, and both of these guys, Ishan and Gill, both have the ability to go after the bowlers if they're set, especially the power plays. They're genuinely good hitters of the ball.
But I don't know. I saw the 3 deliveries, and I think they are being a little too cautious here. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Ishan Kishan is gone. He has been caught on first slip.
Checked.
It was an extra bounce that you were talking about, and yeah.
And he checked the shot. Should have slashed it totally. Again, a bad way to get out.
Bad way to get out, but it's the extra bounce, to be honest. Yeah, and from a left hand, I mean, you generally don't face that left-handers that much. He just played away from the body. I mean, the movement he just did not anticipate that movement off the pitch. Back.
Rahul, you know the loss of him trying to find that
just 3 balls in the
spot.
game. We can. It's okay. It happens.
Seriously, he was trying to stick to his stock ball of that hard length with that hard length, and this time it did not pay off. Well, here we are. 16.2 overs, 136 runs for 9 for not just the quicks but also the spinners who were surprisingly pick up what exactly worked for the spinners today, Vineet. I mean, none of them were bowling very slow. You like Akshar was clocking anywhere between 95 to 101. What worked for the spinners today?
Look, not just for the spinners, but I think what worked for the entire bowling unit was the cushion of 228, as Sahil mentioned during the
Agreed,
pre-match.
but
I
but
think
but, but
that
if
made between them, I think 3 wickets they have taken. Fill the batters, and where I would have thought Ashdeep Singh returns with 2-3 wickets to his name. So Soumya is bang on with his prediction, 3 for 20.
Soumya was bang on with his prediction, yeah.
And I just feel, yeah, Chal got hit for a couple of the sixes also, but he was mixing it up really nicely.
Yeah, he did.
He was bowling it, and the way he was tossing it up, he was keeping it away from the batters, which was good. Not
And
bowling
that
in
is
the
his
slot
strength.
was
That
the
is
key
his
here.
strength.
Yeah, which is his strength. Not bowling in the slot. Toss it up, that's fine. But if you're tossing it up and giving it away, it's actually really hard for the batter to go after the ball.
And the slowness of that, delivery was pretty much on show when he got Dhananjaya De Silva out on this on the sweep. It was because of the change of pace that Dhananjaya couldn't really get on top of that sweep and eventually top edged it. But yeah, I mean, there are a couple of loose deliveries what I thought would have been better for Team India. But overall, look, it's a series win, consecutive series win once again, and their clean record in series decider still continues for Team India.
But what do you think, guys? What do you think was different about today? I mean, we thought that the pitch would deteriorate. It did not. It held up for bowlers for both innings. But batting, I mean, okay, keep Suryakumar Yadav aside. What exactly do you think went wrong there?
You're talking about Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka, yeah.
Look, it's the pressure. It's the pressure of chasing 220. It's the pressure from ball one. What your run rate was? What asking rate was over 10. I mean that pressure, and it could not. They could not have sustained it. Look, it was a great start. At one stage they were 44 for one, and then similarly India at that stage were 40 for one only. But the difference maker was Rahul Tripathi and of course Surya Kumar Yadav, and it was going to be that. I mean the pressure scoreboard or scorecard pressure would eventually get onto you. It was a matter of 1 wicket here and there. And I think the second wicket of Pathum Nissanka, I think when they lost Nissanka, it really showed. I mean, they're just going for everything. That was what bounce. A short back of link delivery, and Nissanka just could have left it. I mean, just because he wanted to score runs, he just went for it and got a very very faint edge onto his helmet, and they took the catch. And everybody followed suit. I mean, nobody. I mean, from that Sri Lanka lineup, there's no one of Surya Kumar Yadav's quality, no one of Surya Kumar Yadav's skill set there. So it was just a matter of them trying, and Indians just have to wait. I mean, they stifled those batters as well in the middle overs. And look, I mean, if Dashan Sanaka was the only person that could have gotten them through, Indians employed the strategy of dismissing everybody around Dashan Sanaka, and Sanaka himself fell in the end. But all in all, look, it was the batters who set up the thing, and bowlers just had to put in their basics, and that's what they did excellently in this match.
What would you say will be your biggest takeaway? I'll start with Soumya first. What would you say is the biggest takeaway for India as far as this series is concerned?
As far as this series is concerned, definitely a Mavi, and the way the bowlers have performed in this scenario, okay, because you had a lot of runs under your belt, you had the cushion, you had the room to just try out different things, but they were pretty economical. If you look at all the bowlers, a couple of deliveries here and there, that happens. It's the format. The format is it's about the format, but overall the bowling attack, the bowling performance in this game, and barring the second one, I feel that was for me is a takeaway first of all. And again, economy in T20Is does matter. And today we saw like Arshdeep who had gone for I don't know how many 50 plus in the previous game, or 40 plus probably.
Go for
Was so
37, I
economical
think.
today. Yeah, or was so economical. Yeah, in 2 overs. The economy was way ahead, way over 15, right? He just gave away 20, I guess, 20 for 3, and the wickets he's been picking again. Umran picking up wickets, the spinners chipping in. So not getting complacent about the kind of cushion they had with that kind of a target, and wondered out the opponents. So that's my takeaway. And of course, Surya Kumar Yadav, his batting. I mean, what a knock! You don't really have words. At times, you don't have words for someone toying the fielding and the bowling like that. I'm genuinely short of words right now for that kind of a knock. And also Aksar's batting. Yes, he played a couple of knocks where we in the last game where we needed him. But again, the way Aksar has performed in the World Cup, he needs to put that kind of performances over and over again for at least next 15-20 games if he has to stay in the fray. Because once Jadeja is back, and you
Exactly.
also have a Shahbaz, and also not of the similar sorts, but a Washington Sundar, who can open the innings, bat in the middle order, will chip in 4 overs, will bowl in the power play. He can bowl in the power play. So you have a lot of competition, and he hasn't really stepped up in a big competition. Again, the bilateral has been. He did it in West Indies. Won matches for India, scored those sixes straight down the ground. But what happened in the World Cup was genuinely disappointing. You can't give away runs at an economy of 13 in a World Cup, right? You can't do and not pick up wickets. Okay, if you would have picked up 10 wickets, it was still reasonable. Not reasonable. Actually, it would have been taken, but no wickets,
Exactly.
and then you're giving away runs. Batting was you didn't given was not you were not able to bat. And when you got a chance, you got run out. You got yourself run out. You're experienced enough to not get yourself run out in that kind of a situation, which happened in Pakistan game. So he needs to consistently perform in that manner with the
Exactly.
bat, with the ball, if he has to stay in the fray. Otherwise, there are hell lot of options. There, players are in waiting in the wings. And
Right.
the players are waiting to just get one game and perform, and they are performing. There are players who are performing in the domestic circuit. Sayyid Mushtaq, if you pick up Sayyid Mushtaq, if you pick up Vijay Hazare, if you pick up Ranji Trophy, they are players who are performing, and also you have the experienced lads coming in who will be coming in
Exactly.
at some stage. So
That's right.
he has performed really well, but he needs to be consistent. Second, the bowling has been
Vineet-
exceptional.
Okay.
A lot of points to that.
Okay. Vineet, what would be your big takeaway from the series?
A couple of things. One is the clarity of thought and no chopping and changing a settled unit. Barring that Sanju Samson injury, you brought in a Rahul Tripathi. Nothing else changed, right? Arshdeep Singh was unavailable. You brought in Harshal Patel, and Arshdeep was back. I think that is the biggest takeaway leading up to 2022. Throughout 2022, in the name of experiment, we were seeing different 11s every game. We were seeing batting order being chopped, changed every game. That was not the case in these 3 games. I mean, Sahil also mentioned this in the mid innings. I think that Deepak Hooda is set to don the role of a finisher, and done. That's about it. There's no talk about Deepak Hooda at number 4. There's no talk about of Surya Kumar Yadav going at number 3, or Rahul Tripathi coming out number 4, or Ishan Kishan coming down. You are very much clear. Ishan Kishan, Shubman Gill were your openers. You gave them all the 3 games. You had Samson at 3, had an injury. Rahul Tripathi came in as a direct swap. Surya Kumar Yadav maintained his position at number 4. So that clarity of thought, partly comes from Hardik Pandya as well, the captain, because there's a change in that philosophy as well. Team management also, back in that way. You were very much clear where is Umran Malik going to bowl. He did not bowl. I think just one over he bowled in the death overs. Apart from that, he was in the middle over, operating in the middle overs. That's the biggest takeaway. Hardik Pandya did not bowl anything in the power play overs. I think the latest he bowled is a 14th over in this game. So you are seeing a pattern there, and that's the biggest takeaway for me, that there is a clear clarity of thought on what do you want to do, what do you want certain personnel in your team to do.
Do you think that the management is going to just bite it hard and say that, okay, New Zealand is going to come in a couple of weeks, we're going to field the same side, in a T20 game against them.
I honestly think so. I mean, very interestingly, I was having this conversation with somebody. What happens in the next T20I series? I mean, do you think Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli or a KL Rahul come back? And I think you should not look back. I mean, it's a hard call to make, but I don't see. I don't want to see any of them, the three of them, be part of the T20 squad. So if the focus is also on ODI, let them focus on this. The younger lot, let them focus on the T20s. Let them get more game time. Look what Shubman Gill did. 2 games, he bad outing. 3 games, he was a bit slow. For me personally, I would have liked him to score at a much faster clip. I think he was pretty much saved by that Rahul Tripathi cameo and then Surya Kumar Yadav in the larger scheme of things. But look what he did. I mean, that's what he can do. 46 he made, 36
Right.
he played the second fiddle. You need to give those kind of chances to these players to really express themselves. Umran Malik looked the best in this game as compared to the previous 2 games because he knew what he had to do. Yes, he was taken for runs, but the risk factor is that, I mean, he'll get you wickets as well. So for me, I mean, this should be the same team. They should field for the New Zealand series as well. I am not saying, I mean, even try out a Ruturaj Gaikwad or try out a Mukesh Kumar who didn't get a game. You keep them on the bench. I mean, you should tell them you're getting these longer ropes there, and Shubman Gill deserves to be in the next T20I, which is against New Zealand, because he's showed that what he can do. So tough luck for Ruturaj Gaikwad or Mukesh Kumar. The toughest luck, hard luck is for Sanju Samson, who missed out. Otherwise, you could have seen him playing all 3 games. But Rahul Tripathi also showed that he is waiting in the wings with that amazing cameo. And I think for me, Surya Kumar Yadav steals the show definitely. But it was Rahul Tripathi that provided the impetus and that provided that stage, even for a Surya Kumar Yadav to really go, start going berserk. And when these two combined, Sri Lanka had no clue at all. And that is what does. I mean, that is what impact players do. That is an impact innings.
Yeah, but I had a concern rather to highlight. In the first game, I think our bowlers did a really fine job. Yeah, the spinners didn't come to the party, but our bowlers otherwise did a really good job. But in the second and the third game, I think there was a certain lack of discipline. We saw that with Arshdeep bowling those 5 no balls in the second game. And then today, we saw so many wide deliveries that were bowled both by Arshdeep and by Umran Malik. I mean, when you face a team like Sri Lanka, fine, you can make those errors. You can still paper over those chinks in your armor.
You can basically get away.
When you're going to play a team like New Zealand in a few weeks, I mean, there needs to be some sort of concerns to be raised when it comes to that.
Look,
Right,
that's what the learning curve is all about. Okay, you're playing Sri Lanka, you can still, as he said, get away from it. Not against the New Zealand. I'm pretty sure if you make mistakes like that against a New Zealand kind of a side, you can't. But that's experience that you gain. After all, you can only gain experience, if you make mistakes, and that's okay. Again, as I've been saying, this is a young crop. Let them do what they're doing. Just mentor them for the next 1.5 years, next year. But I would just differ from Vineet here. You still need experience when you go in for a big tournament. Okay, play this side against New Zealand or the upcoming T20 fixtures. That's fine. Keep rotating these 20-30 players. That's fine. But you can't. You will still need a couple of experienced players in the squad when you go for a World Cup. And I don't see a Virat Kohli and a Jasprit Bumrah going out of the equation. That's probably because I'm a fan.
That's absolutely right. I mean, that's true. I completely
agree with
you on that. I completely agree with that.
If you don't look at a Rohit Sharma for a T20 World Cup, fine. If you don't look at a KL Rahul also, that's fine. But you will still, even a Bhuvneshwar Kumar, that's fine, because they have, they also have a WTC, they have the ODI World Cup at the disposal. That's fine. But if you're talking about the T20 World Cup, you will still need, that's a big tournament. It's an ICC tournament. You will need experienced lads, because Look, when we won the T20 World Cup in 2007, you had a Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh, Virender Sehwag, MS Dhoni, Gautam Gambhir, all of them who have played at least two or a couple of World Cups. Half of them were in the 2003, half of them were 2007. Okay, we had
Exactly.
a terrible run in the 2000 ODI World Cup, but they had played a big tournament. So you will need experienced players when it comes down to a big tournament. And that's why I don't see a Virat Kohli and a Jasprit Bumrah kind of a player going anywhere if injuries are not a concern.
Okay, yeah, Vineet.
Yeah, right. No, that's absolutely right. When Soumya says that you may need the experience, not having a Rohit Sharma, Kohli, and KL Rahul was basically wishful thinking. I really see Kohli making it to that squad, still having some value there in that squad. Might as well open with him, who knows? But that's a discussion for another time. But I'll also add on to Edwin, what you mentioned about the concerns bit for this what we see in this series. You know what? The bowling wasn't the greatest. Even in the first T20I, Sri Lanka had a chance to win. It was Sri Lanka who really lost it because Shanaka put Sri Lanka in a position to win. So the India's bowling in death overs was found wanting. In the second game, you saw India lost and Sri Lanka really went hard at it. Third game, again, look, as I said at the top of the show, 228 cushion makes all the bowlers look good. They bowl very differently. So you can't really, judge or you can really see how good these the bowlers were. Sri Lanka were terribly under pressure. And again, I mean, this is not to say that Indian bowling was bad. This is a very inexperienced squad. Arshdeep Singh was coming off a 1-month injury layback, and as I'll mention that, he's a rhythm bowler. He wasn't in rhythm. Umran Malik did give away runs. The biggest disappointment, in a way, from the bowling point of view, I'll still say is Yuzvendra Chahal because he's leaking runs and worthless runs that he's leaking. With loose deliveries. Akshar Patel was quite decent because he was very economical, but very valid point that Soumya mentioned, that if you are competing for the place against Ravindra Jadeja, you got to do this consistently over a period of 6 months, 8 months, or 3-4 series. Right. You have to do that. So this team is shaping up well. I still would have liked to see Harshal Patel get a game, but honestly, there was no way he could have gotten a game if he was coming back. Shivam Mavi, look, his selection was a surprise to me, at least at a personal level, because I was not seeing him coming from out of nowhere. He didn't have the greatest of Syed Mushtaq Ali. He took 10 wickets in 7-8 games. Economy was pretty decent, has been blowing hot and cold, but that was not trust entrusted by Hardik Pandya and the team management to give him a go. That boy did well, 4 wickets in the first innings, first match, and then pretty decent. Yes, was taken for runs. Here also he just bowled 1 over.
Okay.
So yeah, bowling, I see there's a bit of concern, but also you can see, there was no Jasprit Bumrah, there's no Mohammad Shami. If Mohammad Shami still qualifies to be in your scheme of things, that's something that you may want to work on. And in the New Zealand series, I think that would be one aspect that they will look at working.
Okay, guys. So quickly, I just want to pick your brains on this. So clearly, Team India is trying to look beyond at least Rohit Sharma and maybe KL Rahul. Virat Kohli, yeah, I'm pretty sure he will play the 2024 World Cup provided if he is in the right kind of form. But who all do you think will end up forming the core? Like you were mentioning earlier about the fact that when we played the 2011 World Cup, we had Dhoni, we had Yuvraj, Harbhajan, Gambhir and Sehwag. They formed that core, and you had the rest of the team playing around them in each section. Like you had Gambhir and Sehwag opening the innings. You had Yuvraj taking care of it. Then you had Harbhajan leading the spin, and then you had Dhoni maneuvering everything the way he used to do. So we were set that way. In fact, that same, we discovered that blueprint in the 2007 T20 World Cup. It's the same squad that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But now, going ahead, if there is no KL Rahul, if there is no Rohit Sharma, and dare I say, no Virat Kohli for 2024 T20 World Cup, who do you think are going to form that core of 5 players? Quickly, first I'll come to Soumya.
Look, there are certain players whom you can't really keep out right now if you really want, if you are really looking at some glory, because I would say you will have to have a Virat Kohli. Okay, In the middle order, Surya Kumar Yadav can be someone who chips in with runs every now and then. You will have to have a Shreyas Iyer as well, because he brings a lot of experience. Till that point of time, he would have, if things go well, he would have led a IPL franchise for a couple of seasons. Oh, for 3 seasons on the trot. You know, he is leading KKR. He'll have that. He'll be having that leadership. He can have that leadership role as well. I'm not saying he can be the captain, but he can be someone who can be a part of that leadership role. So and also you have Hardik Pandya. Then you need to have a Jasprit Bumrah to lead the bowling pack, and possibly a Ravindra Jadeja, possibly. So if you have those kind of 5-6 players who are experienced enough, those people make the core, and we just hope that Rishabh Pant is also fine. Rishabh should be in, you need to consider him. Come on, you can't just keep him away from everything, right? So he will be in the consideration. So these 5-6 players might be.
I don't think anybody is keeping him away. I think it's more about whether he's able to make a case for himself.
Exactly.
Your take on who could be forming that core, at least for T20, as far as India is concerned?
Look, it's more than the core. I think that's the mindset that has to change, and I always believe this is a mad format, and you have to be a mad scientist to crack this. England did that. 2022 World Cup was a template where they just went mad, and not just 2022. I mean, you look at the history of the T20 World Cups or T20 tournaments in general. 2009 of Pakistan, 2007 of India, you know, it was a new thing. 2009 of Pakistan, or the two wins of West Indies also. You look at those lineups. Two times. I mean, 2016 and I'm forgetting the other 2011. I think. 12. You look at those lineups. It was mad lineup. They were mad lineups altogether. So you need to be really mad, you know, when you're looking at 2024, and you have the time for that. And continuation to that, I'll see. Look, core. I don't know the core, but I have 11 in mind, which is Ishan Kishan, Rishabh Pant to open. You may want to have a Virat Kohli at 3 or a Rahul Tripathi. Depends, you know. That's 50-50 for me. Surya Kumar Yadav at number 5. You have a Pandya at 6. Pandya at 5 and 6 Hooda. You can have an Aksar / Jadeja at 7. You have an Harshal / a Washington Sundar, maybe, I don't know, because in Indian conditions. Then you have an Ashdeep and Bumrah. Look, you have to be really mad to crack this. So I don't see there's a core. The core is definitely a Surya Kumar Yadav and Jasprit Bumrah are your, two first names on that list.
This is exactly the reason why I asked you for a core. This is exactly the reason why I asked you for a core, because for all you know, after IPL 2023, we may unearth some couple of new talents. They will be introduced to the team. Somebody will end up losing their spot, and then suddenly we'll have the T20 2024 World Cup knocking on our door, and we'll again be having this conversation about.
Look, I tell you something.
That's the reason I want to know.
The conversation.
The core is concerned.
If you really want to make a core, if you really want to make a team, you will have to keep this one season wonders away from the IPL. I mean,
your Varun Chakravartis, your Rahul Chahars are not going to cut it.
Yes,
to put it simply.
Yes. So I still believe that Venkatesh Iyer has been a bit unlucky. He got injured at a very wrong time, but he's a good player. He's a decent player. He can again. For me, if you're looking at a young bunch, have the all-rounders in. West Indies 2012 did this. 2016 West Indies did this. Again, England did this recently. Yeah. They had a lot of all-rounders who can bat, who can bowl, fast bowlers who will chip in with 4 batters who will, you will have the 12th man also batting. that was a kind of a team they had.
In the final, England were batting till 11. I mean, all the 11 batters.
I
guess 11 also had a first-class 100
were batting, I guess. Yeah, I
personally feel that we are still too far away from reaching that level, because somewhere I think when Indian players try to make their cut, they're looking at something very specific. They either want to become a bowler, a batsman. Very few are there who are looking at becoming a batsman, wicketkeeper. I think that trend was.
If you look at
also Edwin, the reason for that is T20 cricket started in England, and that has evolved quite a lot with the T20 blast and everything. Look, IPL is the money minter. Yes, of course, it is the biggest league out there, and all of those things. All the focus is there, but T20 T20 Blast or their T20 format has been going on for a long time, and they have evolved like anything. So I mean, players who can both bat and ball is not a new thing. You look at T20 Blast, every team would have like 10.
That's exactly
all
my
the
point. So
first
India
place
has
10
managed
would
to
be
somewhere
bowling and
bring
would
in
be
that
batting.
mentality that okay, we don't want you to see, we don't want a player who can just bat and score 100 runs, but it'll be great if you can bowl 2 overs and maybe get us 2 wickets as well. I don't think that mentality has made its way into the new Indian
but
crop.
if
I
you
mean,
look
yeah,
at-
we
mentality
have
has
some all-rounders here and
look
there,
at this
but
word.
nobody who can give us
has
that level
been
of
there.
consistency.
Even look, the
If you look
mentality
at this
has been
word,
there. You look at the recent squad as well. Even your bowler,
Yeah.
somebody you. The only two bowlers who cannot bat are probably Jasprit Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh right now. Deepak Chahar played a lot of T20s. He can wield the bat. Shardul Thakur played a bit of T20 cricket last year. He can do the batting as well. Harshal Patel, as Highland mentioned, he opens the batting for UP and Haryana opens the bowling as well. So he can wield the bat as well. You need to find those kind of players. Look, Chahal is a great spinner, but is batshit when it comes to batting. So it's about you being lucky also when you find those kind of players. Like somebody like a Washington Sundar is a perfect example of this. Fantastic bowler, can bowl in the power plays and everything. He's developing his skill as a batter. Akshar Patel is developing his skill as a batter. I mean, he started out as a spinner who can bat. Now you're seeing that evolution happening, so it'll take time. And look, also Shivam Mavi, who played this, he's also somebody who can bat. And one of the important aspect here is that the last T20 World Cups, 2 World Cups, we were a very lethargic fielding side. That has to change. In here, you saw Shivam Mavi taking that amazing catch, beautiful catch. He is a gun fielder. In that lineup, apart from maybe Arshdeep Singh, everybody is a good fielder there. So that is also one of the important aspects that you will have to keep in. Having a Shami, having a Rajendra Ashwin, no disrespect to these guys, even a Rohit Sharma for that matter. I mean, that fielding was a bit of a worry. Now you have to look at it from that aspect, not the batting, not the bowling, not both those aspects, but the fielding is very important. And you need to build
Thomas,
a
just
squad.
quickly, if you could have your word in, because we want to wrap this in the next few minutes.
Yeah. So that's why I rate Ravindra Jadeja really high. His importance in the side, because batting, bowling, that's fine. Fielding, you place him in the circle, he's amazing. You place him in the boundary, he's amazing in the outfield. You know, the pickup and throws are damn accurate. You know, the direct hits or probably to the keepers. So that also adds up to the contention of a player. That's why I rate him really high, and that's why I want him in the side, because someone like him in the 11 will motivate others. You know, as we were talking about the fielding bit, it would motivate others as well. So but experience can't it doesn't.
Yeah, but
it
then
doesn't
again, you have to consider the age factor, and obviously now with that knee surgery that he has, you never know how that is going to affect his game. Anyways, so I want to wrap this up. So the next series that we're going to have is the ODI series with most likely Rohit Sharma coming back into the fray. Still not sure about where Virat Kohli and all are going to be. Your predictions, guys, for the next for the upcoming ODI series. I feel it's going to be 3-0 drubbing for Sri Lanka.
ODIs are not that kind of a trouble for us. I guess 3-0.
No, it's going to be massacre 3-0. I mean, not even close. I mean,
okay, fine. Then let me put in a bit of a challenge. Will we see a score of 400?
No. No.
The kind of tracks we are playing on, we may not. Just because of that, the kind of tracks that we are playing on, we may not. But close to, 350, 360, easily achievable. 400 might be pushing it too much. But yeah, it's going to be one-sided affairs is what my prediction are. All 3 games.
Absolutely. I don't think Sri Lanka has the chops to beat India in India when it comes to a 50-over game. Guys, thanks a lot for joining in for this watch-along. It's been a pretty interesting series. This was nobody was expecting this to be as amazing and awesome as it was, I mean, we all thought this is just going to be a pushover. Either Sri Lanka may end up winning or India may just steamroll them, but that was never the case. 3 good games, a lot of good takeaways from the series. Vineet, Soumya, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot also to Sahil for chipping in. We'll be back with more such watch-alongs and other specials right here on News 18 and cricketnext.com. Till then, it's bye from me.
Thank you, Edwin.